One Call of Duty Zombies game was able to blend new innovations into the core Zombies gameplay, and I believe it deserves much more praise than I've seen it get. Call of Duty Zombies dropped 15 years ago with the release of World at War. Since then, over 10 COD releases have featured a Zombies game mode. Some of them are met with love, and some of them, aren't. When you ask the community what the best Zombies game is, you almost always get the same answers. Black Ops 3 for the custom maps and the polishing of the mechanics, or Black Ops 1 or 2 for the nostalgia that the games bring. Recently, I started thinking about my answer to that question, and I realized that I only really play Black Ops 3 because of the ease of access and the community maps, but as a whole, I don't think it's the best Zombies game that's been released. The game I really believe deserves the #1 spot is rarely talked about from what I've seen, and didn't get the credit that it deserves. This game is Black Ops 4- no, I'm just kidding, I don't play that shit. It's Black Ops Cold War. I hadn't played it or thought about it ever since the game died off for more CODs to take its place, but the Zombies was so well done in it. When the devs first started teasing the Zombies mode, they talked about refreshing the game mode with changes to gameplay along with moving the story past the Aether timeline.
Black Ops Cold War sets the stage for a new Zombies experience.
As with most of the community, I was worried that they would just fuck it up. This seems to be what always happens with these studios trying to change the tried and true formulas that make us love the games. But thinking back to my time playing the game when it finally released, they did an amazing job at keeping that Zombies feeling while implementing new original ideas that ended up working well. To start with what they did right, they brought back the old perk system that the players loved. All the classics are there, and that's what we begged for. They also gave us the Wonder Fizz vending machine, a less annoying version of the old Wonder Fizz that they introduced before. They got rid of starting pistols and allowed players to bring a loadout in to start with. Somehow they even managed to do this well. Instead of spinning the box constantly trying to get a specific gun, now you can bring a low tier version of this gun that you want straight into the game with any attachments you like. If you're trying to get unlocks for that gun, you can just upgrade it later and make it perform as well as if you got it from the map itself. That brings up the upgrade station, another great addition to the game. You can buy armor to increase survivability, upgrading it in tiers along with your weapon. The diversity this adds to the game is amazing and gives you something to constantly be grinding for and looking forward to, and makes the matches evolve over time. Back to the loadouts, bringing in whatever weapon you wanted was amazing because you actually gained gun experience from Zombies that transferred over to multiplayer. They even introduced an entire second side of skins that were exclusively unlocked through the Zombies modes and doing challenges in there. If you know me at all, I almost need a game to have permanent unlocks for me to go for. Keeping some sort of progress in between games is a huge thing for me, and that gun unlock system alone would have made me content. But they went a step further and introduced what may be my favorite system of all in this game, the Ethereum Crystal unlocks. The crystals are a currency you can get after games and use to upgrade everything permanently. You can spend the crystals on gun subtype upgrades, making perks even stronger for you, or your field upgrade, which I'll bring up later. These crystals introduced what Zombies had been missing for so long. Sure, in past games you could donate to the bank to bring money into other rounds on certain maps, or in Black Ops 2 you could get secret perma upgrades, but Cold War does it so well and makes it tangible how valuable these upgrades can be. How do you get these crystals? I'm glad you asked, because they managed to answer that question by solving another huge issue in Zombies game modes. It's no secret that Zombies games can get boring. Up to a certain point, you're just repeating the same processes over and over again, watching a number go higher. Basically cookie clicker with extra steps and a lot more moaning. But Cold War introduced extractions, basically buyable endings from World at War and Black Ops 3 custom maps, but better. They presented a ramped up challenge that would allow you to get even more Ethereum crystals at the end of a match if you survive. This finally made ending a Zombies run feel rewarding and exciting instead of just being over. The Pack-a-Punch machine got a rework in this game too, which I would have been worried about, but they managed to do this well too. They made new tiers of Pack-a-Punch to weapons that allowed for further progression, more to save up points for, and elemental upgrades. The depth this brought to loadout customization was sick and allowed people to experiment and try new things to see what works well or just have fun with the new options. With your starting loadout, you can also choose a field upgrade, and these things fuck. I'll talk mostly about the medic ones since I almost exclusively use it, but all of them have their uses. At a certain point in the upgrade path, just using this power can get up all down players on the map, along with heal people over a short amount of time. This field upgrade is a godsend to people who usually get stuck reviving players who get down often. Every gun in this game seems to be balanced extremely well too. Each have their own positives and negatives, and past Black Ops 3, I think the weapon balancing in Cold War is probably the best they've ever done. Everything feels viable and worth using, and people can comfortably choose whatever they want to use. The game's maps aren't anything too special, but the Easter eggs are easy enough to follow and have some crazy moments. These crazy fucking developers even attempted making a free roam open world zombies mode. It isn't mind-blowing by any means, but I would never have expected them to put something like that into zombies. The maps are huge, full of loot, there's Easter eggs you can work on as you go through the rounds, it's challenging, everything they could have done right, they did. Even though I'm drooling over this game, I do have a few complaints. I really wish they were able to make custom maps possible. I see that as the main reason this game doesn't get the light that it deserves. Along with the maps, like I said before, not being anything really special, there wasn't enough of them in my opinion. I would have loved to see more come out, even as DLC. My last big complaint is that without the Aether storyline, a lot of the story in general falls apart. They tie in the universe a bit, but sometimes it can feel forced, and the story can use some characters and a lot more development. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention one of the most revolutionary mechanics that they introduced in this game. The host can fucking pause the game. The online game can now be paused. I fucking love Treyarch. Not to mention, they made this all cross-platform. All in all, I have zero idea how this game didn't get more love from the community. The developers did something people thought was impossible, innovating on zombies and actually making almost every aspect better, while maintaining everything we need in a zombies game mode. Cold War is an absolute banger. I never asked this, but subscribe please, I'm begging you.